So let's get into the part of this case that's really responsible for bringing it back into the spotlight right now. And that's the autopsy details and the medical findings that have been coming out now over the last couple of weeks, because these are things that the public didn't really have access to before. And now that they're out there, they're giving people a much clearer, much honest, darker picture of what happened inside that house. According to reports, based on these unsealed documents and the unsealed autopsies, the 4 victims suffered more than 150 stab wounds. That's combined between all 4 of them during this horrific attack that, remember, just happened within minutes. And when you break down the 150 stab wound number, it is very staggering. Xana, she had the highest number, with about 67 stab wounds. We know that she fought back. We heard early on that some of her fingers were almost completely severed from fighting back, but still, 67 stab wounds. Kaylee Consalves had around 38 stab wounds. Maddie Mogen, about 28. And Ethan Chapin had about 17 stab wounds based on these autopsy summaries. And look, it's not just about how many times these young adults were stabbed, it was also about where. Because across all 4 of these victims, the injuries, they weren't random. They were concentrated in some of the most vulnerable areas of the body. See, all 4 victims suffered severe injuries to the upper body, specifically the head, face, neck, chest, and scalp. Now, these weren't just defensive wounds to arms or hands. Many of these injuries were to the areas that are immediately life-threatening. And that's why the investigators have consistently described this attack as extremely violent and also targeted. Which, think about that. And I'm not going to go into the exact amount, but I would say around 50%, if not more, of the stab wounds to each victim was focused on the face, neck, and scalp. Now, in Kaylee's case specifically, the autopsy report actually said that she had at least 24 stab wounds to that area, then 11 to her chest and 3 stab wounds to her arms. As we know, she also had blunt force trauma to her head as well. Now, based on those findings, experts said that her injuries were so severe and severe enough that she was or could have been classified as disfigured. That detail has come up over and over again too, because it's unusual, even in stabbing cases, and it suggests a level of force way beyond what would actually be needed to incapacitate someone. To disfigure them, it's next level. Maddie also suffered multiple sharp force injuries to her upper torso and her neck area. The report says that she suffered approximately 13 wounds to her scalp, face, and neck area, 5 to her chest, and 10 to her arms. Now, in Maddie's case, there were also wounds to the lungs, liver, chest wall, and some major veins and arteries. Investigators have said that her wounds were consistent with a very sudden, very fatal attack while she was in bed. So we can only hope that it was quick enough, that she wasn't suffering, that she didn't know exactly what was going on the whole time, and that it was just fast and as painless as possible. But this is also where I have to just pause for a second, because this next detail, it's terrifying and it's also kind of confusing, but it is raising a lot of questions recently. According to a defense expert, Maddie and Kaylee's bodies may have been moved, posed, or staged after they were killed.